Flosstube. It's Elisa with Crafting in Colorado. Today is December 2nd, 2021, and this is Flosstube number 5. This is my third time trying to film this today, so the lighting's going to be a little off. I started to film earlier and then my boss called. It was the end of the day, but she needed something, so I'm like, ah. So, you know, bosses come before stitching. So anyway, got that done, and now the lighting is weird, so if things look off, I'm sorry, but this is got that stitchy nose everybody talks about. This is the only time I can film because I have to go get my driver's license renewed tomorrow. Over last weekend I was doing something with my husband, and yeah, it's expired by several months. So yeah, after I'm done working tomorrow, I have to go get that done, and then the weekend is booked too. So this is the only time I had to film. This is the only time I have to film, and hopefully the dog won't bark or the phone won't ring like has happened in previous versions of this. So here I am. This is my focus piece for this month, or it's just my focus piece. Let's just say it like that. Sorry, I'm just all tongue tangled from dealing with distractions. But I got to the end of this red bird and that little yellow flower there. So we're coming along. We're coming along, and I will be reaching 65% complete either tonight when I'm stitching or tomorrow. So let me stand back a little further here. There you go. Yeah. So I got everything pretty much done up to where I have gridded, which is right up there. And all I have left is just this little area that I have to do. And then I am going to rip out all that gridding that's in there, because it looks like there's column lines and bumps and grooves in it, but it's the gridding. That's what that is. So if you look here, this side doesn't have the gridding in it, and that side does. So it's funny, when I first started this project in 2017, I could barely get a page finish a month, and that was before Pattern Keeper. So if we didn't have Pattern Keeper, I don't know what I would do, but yeah. So I will be at 65%, like I said, either tonight or tomorrow. So I'm averaging the past few months about 5% a month, and I've been kind of happy with that progress. Hoping to get 70% complete by the end of the year. We'll see. I also reached my goal a few days ago for the 21 and 21, 21,000 stitches in 2021. And because this piece is on 10 stitch, I had to do 42,000, and I'm already over that by 1,600 stitches. So yeah, I'm good with that. Yeah, it's just moving along. It's amazing what you can get done if you focus on one piece. So I also wanted to share with you, if you follow me on Instagram, you will have already seen this, but I did get one finish in, and so this is my 4th finish of the year. Oops, let's see. This is Butterfly Honeysuckle. Let's see, there you go. By Thea Governor. And the last time you saw this, let's see, the last time you saw this, you didn't see anything from about here over. That's what I finished this in this last go round, and it got done. I'm just okay with this piece. I'm not overly thrilled with it. It's all right. I'm a little frustrated with this piece because I will never buy another Thea Governor kit again. This is the second one that I have stitched, and also the second time where I've run almost completely out of floss, and not just by a little, because I'm pretty stingy with my floss, but it's by a lot. And so I do have one more kit of hers, but I had to kind of fudge a few of these. So like this here, that dark red, it should be a different color, but I couldn't find it. And so what I had to do is I have this DMC Needlework Threads color card, and there's two of these out there. This is the one that is just the cardboard, so it doesn't have the actual floss, and I think I want to get the one with the actual floss on it. I think it would be a very resourceful tool, but I had to come back to this over and over and over again to figure out what floss colors, because Thea Governor's kits just have a symbol. They don't have a reference to the DMC colors. So the last time I stitched one of her kits, when I ran out of floss, I reached out to the company and I got no response. And so I knew the same would be true this time because I reached out several times. So it took more time researching what the floss colors was, and like in this flower, you know, I was just barely into this one, you know, and then I had all the rest of this, so I had to frog that out, and I got as close as I could to it. It's pretty dark, but you know, it balances out that dark red over here. So yeah, I'm glad I have that color card reference, and I also have a full set of DMC, so that, but going through and trying to find out what goes what, yeah, just, I'm glad this is done. That's all I can say about that. So, and we'll see if I ever stitch that other kit that I have of hers. So we'll go from there. So yeah, that's got to 60% on Birds in Bloom. Got to finish. Hope to get one more finish in for the year. And then one afternoon, I think it was last week, maybe it was last week, I had a little science fair project going on here at the house. I watched Debbie from Creatively Yours, and I followed her tutorial on dyeing fabric. And I've dyed fabric a couple of times, but never with multiple colors. So, oh, I should show you. I'm going to start this project next year, and this is Mini Little Puppy by Zitty Nielsen. But I started thinking about this. There's so much white and lighter colors, stitching white on white. That's difficult. You know, you kind of go cross-eyed doing that. And I really was thinking of doing it on a teal fabric. But the majority of my projects next year are teals and blues, and I didn't want all that same color to kind of, I wanted to break it up a little. So I thought that this purple, or I thought a purple, would look kind of nice on this. This is the back. And I'm just starting to grid this. And the reason, so this is my fabric. Here, I think it, and this, it's okay. So I'm starting to grid this so that I can try to map out the best spot to get. I was looking more for like a gray, purpley gray blue, and so this came out a lot darker than what I wanted. I didn't leave it in the dye very long, and I had 3 sets of, well, I started with one, and that color was eggplant, and that color looked like grape Kool-Aid after I was done, and I was like, woof, this is not even close. So I stuck it in a gray, the gray Rit dye, and it toned it down a little, and it still really wasn't quite what I wanted. So then I did it a third time in denim. So this is a one-of-a-kind crafting in Colorado fabric dyeing. But yeah, I kind of wish it was up here, but that's not where so I'm just trying to map out the right spot to get this started. So that was a lot of fun to do. It really truly was. I mean, I got my dish gloves on, and I had a plastic tablecloth out, and all my pickle jars, and my, you know, and an apron, and my husband's like, what in the world are you doing? I'm like, I'm dyeing some fabric. So it was a lot of fun. So I want to thank you, Debbie, for your tutorial. You did a nice job with that, and I really had a fun afternoon. So, all right, so that's really what I worked on this last month. But I wanted to share, I didn't realize that the No New Starts didn't end December 31st. I thought that was the drop dead deadline, and then you were done. But that's not the case. They're stopping it like December 13th. I think that's the date. So I'm free. I'm free to start some things, and I'm looking forward to starting all the things. So on one of my videos, my friend Wendy had reached out. Or no, actually she texted me the other day and said, hey, what do you think of this pattern? And I'm like, oh, I have that pattern. Let's stitch this together. And she's like, yeah, let's do it. So it's this Dimensions Gold Collection Petites, A Kiss for a Snowman. And it's so cute. And, you know, it's December. And here in Colorado, today it was almost 70 degrees. I mean, we're walking around in t-shirts. My husband wore shorts today, which is never heard of. Well, for some Coloradans, they wear their shorts and parkas during the year, but not him. But it was so fun. It's just so warm here. It's kind of a little scary, but it's putting me in the winter mood. So I think we're going to start this in the next couple weeks. So looking forward to that with my friend Wendy. Oh, and I should have said, this next section is what I'm going to stitch on first with stitch-alongs, my planned stitch-alongs, because I had mentioned that I'd never done one. So guess what? I got 3 that I'm planning on right now, and I'm looking forward to it. The second one is this quick stitch sleep time from Heaven and Earth from Cyril Marchetti and Janita with Janita Stitches, and the Rocking Stitcher and we're all going to start this together, and we're going to do a Zoom on January 1st. So a new year, new start. New Year's, new start. Is that what it is? But yeah, so we're going to do this together. I'm really looking forward to meeting with those girls. Yeah, really looking forward to it. And then the last one, we haven't discussed this yet, but the Flosstuber Stitching Field, and she's also on Instagram as Stitching Field. And I'm sorry, I don't remember your name, so please forgive me for that. But she had mentioned that, I think she said it on one of my videos, that she wants to do. She has this and she wants to do it together. So we haven't decided or discussed when we're gonna do this. But yeah, so those are the 3. I'm gonna start, boom, right away. I can't wait. So just looking forward to some variety. You know, it'll be nice. Just really excited about that. So another thing I wanted to share, I had mentioned that my friend Wendy had asked me about a pattern and asked me if I had it, and she was going to send it to me. Well, she did. And this is the pattern. It's by Marjolaine Baston by Lenart. And the pattern is called The Pecking Order. And I have always loved her and her designs. And what I'm super excited about with this, I have a frame. I think I mentioned on one of those videos, I've been buying stuff to finish, and I have a frame that's going to be perfect for this. I'm so excited. It's got a teal distressed wood frame, and yeah, so I'm really looking forward to doing this. And years ago, my mom had this pattern, and I've recently, within the last 6 months, I think, bought this. I wish she would have just given it to me, but who knew that I wasn't stitching at the time. But what I really like about this is you can have each of these as little tiny motifs. It doesn't have to be all one big piece. But she stitched these 4 little eggs for my sister and her husband back when they bought their house years ago. So that's been a while ago. But yeah, I just love her. She's just got pretty patterns. So, all right. And then last week was Black Friday. Yeah, I went down that rabbit hole again. My bobbin was having a great sale on a lot of their kits. I think I got one PDF. I think I got 5 or 6 kits. They're not all small kits either. Reelless kits. They were on sale like between 30 and 50% off, and then they had an additional, I think it was 20% off of that. Heck, yeah. And what's so funny is I kept saying to myself, I got this bin for just my kits. Well, and I said, I'm not going to continue to buy anything and outgrow that bin. Well, I got one for cross stitch, I've got one for needlepoint, and I'm gonna have to get another one. So I gotta stop shopping, y'all. Y'all have to stop being enablers. That's what it is. I need you to stop doing whip parades and sharing your cool projects. Because yeah, I'm totally teasing. Because I love it. I love it. So, and my husband's like, when are you gonna stitch all this stuff? And how are you gonna? And I'm like, buddy, how many cars do you have? So anybody who knows us knows he's a car guy, and he's got way too many. That's all I'll say with that. So some of the fun things we did this last month. We went to the Van Gogh exhibit, which really was a nice afternoon with my folks. If any of you have the opportunity to go, it's a nice experience. And if you're worried about COVID at all, because our numbers have been growing, so I was a little concerned with that. They make you wear a mask, and on the floor I thought it was a walking exhibit, but it wasn't. It was you come into a room and there's mirrors and some benches, or a lot sat on the floor, but there were circles on the ground so that they were all 6 feet apart, so you kind of you stayed in your own little group, and you just sat there, and it was like a movie to music, but with his art. And it would go around on the floor and up on the ceiling and around the room. And we stayed and we watched it twice because, you miss different things. But it was really, really nice. And it was just an interactive video. So yeah, it was a good afternoon. And then we took my folks home, and yeah, it was nice. So another thing I got to do for the first time since starting stitching, and I met up with a group of Colorado stitchers, and they were so sweet to me. I got there late because I had to work, and so there were 3 stitchers and a daughter and a husband, and they were all so nice. And because I got there late, the one stitcher with her daughter, they had to leave, and her daughter was actually, it looked like she was crocheting something. I didn't have the opportunity to ask her, but I'm looking forward to getting to know all of the ladies better. They were just really nice, and we decided we'll get together after the holidays and stuff. And the husband was really sweet. So husbands are more than welcome to come, just not my husband, because he doesn't need to come to that. So it was a nice afternoon, and I didn't get much stitching done because I was just too busy, jibber jabbering. And then another thing we got to do, the retreat that I usually go to, we haven't been able to go to for 2 years now. And so one of the coordinators had emailed me and said, hey, do you want to get together over Thanksgiving? And I'm like, sure, yeah, that would be great. Well, I didn't realize that she had set it up for 3 days of a retreat on Zoom. And I was like, oh gosh, that's a lot of Zooming. But it turned out really nice, and the reason why is they just turned on the Zoom, and once you put in your password, you're just there. And people would come and go, or you could go to a breakout room and visit. And so I would say there was maybe 10 or 12 ladies off and on in any given time, and we laughed and laughed. And one of them, she printed out her own Bitmoji, so if something funny came, she'd put up, TMI, or hold on, my dog is gonna bark, so we're gonna visit and have Cruz be here so he doesn't bark. So that was fun. And then another lady, she was so cute. She left the Zoom and came back, and she had these foam hats on, like this one had big blue hair. Oh, we laughed so hard, and it was just, and then another one she had, it was with this, you have to look up foam wigs. They were really cute, but she came out with these foam rubber, like rollers, like when an old lady would roll her hair up. And so she put that on, and then she put her own robe on, and she was like, had her sunglasses on, and having a cup of coffee. Oh, it was just great fun. So I want to do a couple of shout outs, and the first one, I've been watching her for a while, and I want to apologize for not shouting her out before, but I really like her stuff. And this is Megan from Stitching Moon, and she's from the US but lives in Norway, and she's got a little munchkin. She was telling this story about getting to see the lights, the northern lights, and I'm like, oh, that's on my bucket list. But she's done these 2 patterns now. She's got a really unique style that I'm really drawn to. One she had stitched for her mother, and her mom is into photography, and it was kind of a watercolor camera. So, and I think it had some flowers on it too. It was just really, really unique. And the other one I definitely put on my wish list is Blue Poppies, and I think she got it off Etsy. So if you just type in Blue Poppies, it'll pop up, and they're like a watercolor poppies there as well. I should show you his face, because oh, and he's got his bow tie on, because he's fancy like that, aren't you, Cruz? Are you fancy? Yeah, we have to hold him because otherwise he's gonna bark. I can hear people outside. So, and then the last one is Nicola from Simply a Stitcher, and I believe she's in the UK, I think. I'm sorry, Nicola, I don't remember. But she's fun. She's a sweet lady, and that girl, man, is she a fast stitcher. I watched one of her videos today, and she's like, yeah, on average I get about 1,000 stitches a day, and I'm like, 1,000 a day? Man, I'm doing good doing 10 stitch on 1,000 a day if I can sit on my big old tushy all day long. So that needle just must be flying. Must be doing really good. So that's all I had to share. Oh, Cruz, you want to say goodbye? Yeah, bud, you want to say goodbye? So that's all I had for this month. I just really want to tell you all how much I appreciate you. I've got over 300 subscribers, which is crazy to me. And it's just, I really have enjoyed this and visiting with you all and sharing. So from Colorado, we're going to sign off and hope you all are staying safe, and we'll talk soon. Bye, Flosstube. Bye-bye.